Good morning. I call this meeting to order. This meeting of Logan County Commissioners. Today is March 15th, 2018. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Please rise for the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, item 3, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 4, consideration and possible action on approving minutes of March 5, 2018.
I'll second Mike's motion.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 4, consideration and possible action on proclaiming March 31st, 2018 as Stop the Bleed Day in Logan County to call upon citizens to join with the Stop the Bleed initiative to equip citizens with the knowledge and skills to stop severe bleeding and save a life. Is that what you're here for?
I can speak on it if you want.
That'd be great.
This initiative is locally being pressed upon by our reserve deputy, Dr. Warden. He's also one of the medical directors that serve most of the fire departments here in the county. But he serves other medical directors, and this is a nationwide program. But locally, as far as what we've done, we've pushed it out to the first initiative happened on the 10th, where we're training the trainers. We probably trained somewhere around 10 to 15 trainers. And then we're having 2 campaigns on the 31st, one at Crescent Schools and one here at First Southern Baptist Church in Guthrie. On the 31st, anybody can sign up to join, and it's going to be life-saving training that would aid stopping the bleed. So now that we have the trainers locally on staff, what we've offered is also to the schools to come in and train their staff on staff days. Say they have in-service training that they want us to come up there and train their bus drivers or anything like that. So we've invited that to happen after the initiative. But the nationwide initiative is on the 31st, so this is going to happen nationwide. We've just joined with them to do it.
Okay. Everybody's had a chance to look at the proclamation in question. I'll consider.
I make a motion we approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes without objection. Item 6, open sealed bid number 2018-16 for crushed asphalt to be picked up by Logan County and consideration and possible action on awarding said bid.
We have one bid.
Shocker.
Well, we get to consider it.
Atlas. You do it. No Kimball, huh?
No, and it was even sent to the attention of the person that was the name that we were given. And actually, I sent out 5 bids. Atlas is the only one that responded. And Atlas, yeah, I don't.
I hate to open it, but it's just.
Yeah, Atlas said we'll sell us some more. I mean, not Atlas, but
No, and the problem, just so it's clear, we have a quoted price for pickup from TJ Campbell on the Waterloo plant of less than half of what Atlas has typically charged, but they didn't respond. This is the second time we're not getting a response to the bid to back up the price they quoted.
Atlas Paving wants $35 a ton. I'm against it.
they like it enough they can keep it.
Is that a motion and second?
It'd be a motion to reject.
Motion to reject. I got a motion to reject. You second mine.
Yeah, I'll second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Not for me.
Hearing none. All those in favor of rejecting the bid?
Aye.
If we
Yes, ma'am.
can, to clarify the motion, it's being rejected due to the cost. Is that?
Yes.
I mean, I've been buying crushed asphalt for $13.95, that's $35 a ton.
I agree. I just wanted it clear.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 7, consideration and possible action on approving the form of an agreement to be submitted to the county fire departments pertaining to the operation of the sales tax that is received on behalf of the fire departments.
So I submitted this, I've sent it out, y'all should have had, received a copy of it. Lowell has drafted this agreement to be done between the county and each fire department. It probably should have been done long ago. And basically it's just outlining the fire department's responsibility in the handling of the sales tax, the fact that they have to maintain insurance and keep proper maintenance on the vehicles, the equipment, they have to adhere to the purchasing laws. That type of thing. I have a training day scheduled with fire departments for a week from Saturday, which we're going to give this to them. It has to go back to their boards and or town councils, but it's on here for just for this board's approval of the form of what Lowell put together.
The form and intent, right? Yes, ma'am.
I'll move we approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
Is that
Here-
training just about the form, or is it about how to purchase?
The training is open to anyone that wants to come. It's purchasing, and it's going to be kind of custom to the fire departments. Even, I mean, they have to follow all the same rules, but they have a couple of little different things. But anyone that wants, I mean, y'all want to come, it's 10 o'clock at the fairgrounds on the 24th.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 8, consideration and possible action on approving $5,500 transfer of appropriations from general government capital outlay to civil defense capital outlay for the purchase of a light tower.
Me and David went and looked at that tower. He couldn't be here this morning. He had a class to go to, and he checked around, and it's a pretty good buy. At 5,500, it seemed like a good one. It was low hours. I think it was 67 hours on it, maybe. But he wanted to move forward with it, and there's a possibility that we'll get reimbursed through OMA or OME or.
Emergency Management Authority, Oklahoma Emergency Management.
So I tell him I'd put it on the agenda to discuss.
Okay.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second. Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I need the board to sign.
Motion
here.
passes without objection.
Marvin, as chair, I need you to sign where I just put that little arrow. Please.
Yes, ma'am.
Good purchase.
We need one. Emergencies at night. Better than groping around in the dark.
Unfortunately, it will happen.
I think he might have talked to Damon about storing it over there. We'll park it underneath that lean-to.
Right there?
Up at the
Up at the top, okay.
Both spots for you.
Yes, ma'am. All right, that's done. Item 9, consideration possible action.
I have none for items 9 and 10.
None for 9 and 10. All right. Item 11, consideration possible action on the consent agenda.
Payroll?
Is that light like to a hitch with 2 wheels and all that?
What's that now?
That light tower, is it like
Transfer.
on wheels?
Yeah, it's on a trailer.
Yeah.
I think it telegraphs up, I think 49 feet or something.
Remember what the output of the generator
Can you use it as a
is?
generator too?
Yeah, I think just 110
Like-
though, but it does have the outlets for it.
Is it like 10 kW or, you know? Don't remember.
It's supposed to light 7 acres.
Well,
7 acres. Wow. But David checked around, and I I mean, the cheapest he found used ones was like 10, 11,000.
It takes
Oh,
3 or 4
wow.
cedar trees burning to light that many acres.
Mm-hmm.
Some good deals like that PSAT and such. Good stuff. You had any action on your PSAT?
We got a lot of action.
Cool.
Got it approved. We'll get it approved, put it on the agenda for ACOG. We believe that that's just maybe a formality to run it through there and get that, the approval of that board, but I know at least one person that sits on that board doesn't vote for it.
Oh, that's kind of shady.
Sits in the shade sometimes. Shady, thank you.
Oops.
Two.
Lowell's gonna be at that training too.
Be good to meet him. I don't talk to him and email him. I can see his face.
Yeah.
Lowell was a very smart man.
He is quite intelligent. Fun to talk to sometimes.
Well, not only is he smart, but he's helpful. That's the best part.
He wants to be.
Emailing phone's probably good because if he's here, it's probably not, I think it's gonna be fun.
Troy, I've been looking at email solutions. You know, the fellow that was giving that briefing to us on the website.
Oh, from yesterday.
Yeah, he made a recommendation that I've looked into, and I think it may be the most cost-effective way to do it, and that's the Google for Government. That's,
I have a server,
well, you don't need one,
so that would keep us from, so.
but I mean, that's all, everything they do is cloud-based, and it's,
I've looked at them, it's been quite a while, since I have looked at them.
The thing I thought was interesting was the collaboration tools that come with that. It's an enterprise system, you know. Yeah. And we can get a .gov domain there.
Through them,
Yes.
then the rules have changed, because it used to be very tedious, and that's why most counties hadn't done the .gov, is
Right.
the hoops you had to jump through were incredible.
I think all you got to do is prove that you're a government organization, and they'll give you a domain name. May not be the exact one we got right now, you know, but because there may be more than one Logan County throughout the United States.
I promise you, I get phone calls and mails for several of them. Arkansas, Ohio,
Ohio.
that I know of for sure.
That's where he was from, I think.
It's funny because I've taken calls where you could, after 5 minutes into the call, and I have no clue what someone, and I'm trying to be helpful, and then it dawns on me, are you meaning to speak to Logan County, Oklahoma? No, how did I get you? Well, I will bet you Google Logan County, and we were the first one to pop up. Reports. I will, see if I can check into that one. It would be worth the investment for that as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's like $5 a person for the basic, and then it goes all the way up to like 25. But you wouldn't need more than 1 or 2 people with that kind of.
I'll see if I can
Access.
get some things tracked down for you.
Oklahoma County's a .org.
Sir?
Oklahoma County's a .org.
Yeah.
Wagner County is a .ok.gov because they're running theirs through the open range that the state had put in place at one time. But most counties that I know are not the .gov because I checked into it, it's been years ago,
Yeah.
and it was
Well,
horrible to try to get.
I may be making a bad assumption there, but from looking at their collateral on their website,
We'll check into it. If we're gonna make the shift, I'd like to do them as close together as we could.
Well, it would let you manage it from one location and all that stuff.
I just wanna be able to connect the existing emails so that they don't go away.
The thing I like about it is the ability to do shared calendaring through, email. You can send somebody an email, and can you be at this meeting? And they say yes or no, and then it goes on the calendar that way.
Woodward County's a .org. Yeah, the school had to change all their emails.
Huh?
The school had to change all their
Yeah.
emails when we switched them.
When we first got email over there in the office, it was purposefully that we did not use an individual name. We did it, like my email is Logan CO Clerk at Coxinet, and Logan CO Purchasing, Logan CO Recording, so that it would stay with the office, not the person. And
I think that concludes the items on the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes without objection. Item 12, consideration and possible action on approving claims for payment for March 2018.
Oh, thick stack today.
Kinda against paying claims.
Tends to cost money when you do that.
Out of compliance.
Is that me?
I'm not saying. That seems a yes.
$5 over.
$2.71.
Over's over.
Yeah, the D3 is still looking good so far.
I'll have some, trust me.
Sign here, part 3
Call them
times.
all out. That's gonna be old class. Woodcrest.
They haven't had their training yet. That's next week.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, they would have messed up.
You know you better, right?
Woodcrest. Sheriff.
Sheriff's Office. I need other sheriffs.
22 over.
That's a big one too.
I like Martin. Let's see Martin. See who that.
Holy smoke.
I didn't look over it.
It's $11.20
It's a
over.
big one.
Yeah. For inmate meals. That's the only thing is that those guys like to eat lunch.
And my blanket went over $5.20.
D2.
Huh.
D2.
Right behind it.
Right there.
That one's a surprise.
Apparently didn't.
Including the inspection with the Fire extinguisher.
Actually, that one is because we never know when they're coming. So that's kind of one of the unfair, and it's not just you, it's anyone that got them, because they show up to do the inspection.
Good stretch
And you
for
go, oh, I
D3.
need a PO for that, so.
Chew them out, knock them off, kick them off the premise because they don't have a estimate. So you can be out. Sorry, you don't have
Second,
to, you
Luke.
can't do that.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we approve the claims.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes without objection. Item 13, any citizen desiring to be heard? Hearing none. Item 14, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners.
I was gonna bring up the EMS thing again. I mean, we need to kind of move forward toward that if we're gonna get that on November ballot. I guess maybe this board is the one that needs to decide if we're gonna try to create a new 522 board or try to expand a 522 board.
The way I understand it, that's what this board, that's their responsibility.
I had sent an email with all of that going back and forth with Lowell. I have a couple of questions that I thought might try to bring some better clarity. So I've asked when I could meet with him and kind of really point out which direction, so that we are sure we understand the two ways. And so if you all are good with that, I'll proceed with trying to meet with him and bring back that
Yeah, I'm
very
stay on top of
pointed
it.
questions. Or if you have specifics each of you want to write out.
I just don't wanna drop the ball and let it miss
I mean,
that.
I've asked him several in emails and shared the returns, and I mean, we can ask more questions, but I think I got a pretty good grasp of it, but it never hurts to ask more questions.
I think for me personally, looking at all this stuff, what wasn't clear was that, because he even said he wasn't looking at expansion when he was answering your questions.
Right.
So I think the difference between the two and what it would take to kind of clarify an expansion, create
Right.
new, contract out.
So the way I understood his response was that expansions, the paragraph that talks about expansions only talks about counties or school districts that are shared between two counties. And so expansions would only be for a school district when it involves both counties. That's the only way, that's expanding from one county into another.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's what he meant. But if we need to clarify that, then let's do that.
I think for me, I understand exactly that point, but I
Right.
think here, or what I've picked up on and gleaned is we've used the word expansion with what would technically be an undo of I-1 and a new creation that would expand to
Okay.
income.
Right.
See what I mean?
And-
So I think the word expansion got
So-
used in that.
So yeah, expansion might be a bad word. So I think if the idea is to create a bigger 522 area that includes the current one that has Guthrie School District in it, then there are two things that would need to be on the ballot. The first one would be the vote of people in the current 522 to dissolve that one, to do away with it, okay? And then the second one would be for them to vote
encompass.
to become a part of a new larger
Create a new
522,
one.
yeah. So there would be two. That's my understanding, but yeah, if we need to get clarification on that, and that's,
So if that's
Fine.
the case, if we had to have a two ballot question, I think that would be so confusing. I personally think we ought to just try to create a new 522 and a new board and move forward with that.
And what if one gets
If one
approved
failed,
and the
one-
other one failed?
That the ballot language would be much written so that one had to pass for the other to be valid. That's
Right.
what happened before
Right.
with some others, is
Right.
they're contingent.
But even if we went countywide, you'd have to eliminate ESO.
No, this would not be a countywide.
It would, it just
You
take
weren't
in,
talking about county.
it'd take in Nicole, Langston, Orlando, Mulhall, Marshall.
the north and the east portions that are unserved.
And I think that little section down here, I know that EMSA's covering it,
Mhm.
but I ain't sure we shouldn't go ahead and include it just for down the road if IMSA jumps up and says, hey, we want to be serviced.
So, when I was looking at that, so the area that's served by IMSA, there's two areas. There's one over in the Luther area and in the school district, and one in the Edmond school district. Those are served by IMSA. But those two districts also have a Title 18 fire department in there.
Not this area over here.
Yeah,
That's
Woodcrest is a Title 18 fire department.
Title 18 and 19.
What-
Their 18 only includes an old precinct 206 that used to exist.
So still, there's a additional property tax associated with that. That's what.
Not on them.
My point is that if it's a Title 18, there's like a 6% property tax in some of the Woodcrest area. There's a 7
Right.
in the other area over in. So they already have higher property taxes because of the Title 18 fire departments, and they already have ambulance service. I would be reluctant to try and put another property tax burden on top of them for a service they already have, for ambulance service. We'd have to talk about that, and I'd have to really understand why that would be a necessary additional tax to put on those people.
Well, I just think we need to keep pressing forward and get all this done so we can get it on that November ballot before we fumble, not get it on there. But yeah, I mean, we can discuss anything now. But Troy, if you don't mind, if you'll ask some questions if you'd like and bring back, but I'd like to move forward
I
and get
just,
that done.
from what I've said here, picking up, I think that word expansion, the thought was expand I-1, and I think that meant to create, and so that was all I thought we really probably needed to be clear about was how that, and pick a better word if we need to pick a better word type thing. That's kind of where I was going.
I think the word is dissolve and then join.
Maybe dissolve, then create.
Yes,
Create,
yes.
dissolve
I think-
and
yeah,
create, yeah.
absolutely.
And
All
if
right.
y'all have anything else, I mean, I've got other things I'm trying to go over with him, so this was just kind of on the list, so.
But I would like to just stay on top of the game and get it done, one way or the other. Let the people decide what they want to do.
There you go.
That's all I got. Comments and announcements.
Mike, anything?
No.
Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? None? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.